Okay.
Do you want him to stand
I am definitely recording now.
Oh yeah.
This one, I think, in our government is very
Give it a drink,
to people who are killing other humans.
I get to like 7 minutes.
He's the greatest! He's the greatest!
Brian Terry is dead today because
Give
of
him a day.
furious. The federal government has abandoned this.
National security should not be a political game, and these jokers make it just that. Slap in the face of the citizens of this great country of ours. Slap in the face of people that have fought for this flag that we represent.
They wanted to prove that there were guns flowing to Mexico, so they set up an illegal pipeline. When does it stop being law enforcement and start being a criminal enterprise? Innocent people are dying.
We still don't know who knew what when, and who made the decision.
As fuel for my grandchildren, we are going to be left with. It frightens me. I don't know whether they're living next door. Their right to being stripped on a day-to-day basis.
The message to America is stick to your guns and keep your guns. Don't let your government take them away from you. Those are the people that are fighting us to protect their families because they feel that our nation is not protecting them.
They take our jobs.
Politics and ideology, I think, driving law enforcement, that is dangerous.
This is the time for people to speak up because those freedoms are not guaranteed forever.
The American people are furious at Caitlin.
National Association. Good speech. He hasn't even done his part yet.
Oh.
A well-regulated militia being necessary to security in free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Most constitutional scholars agree that since the amendment refers to the right of the people instead of the right of the militia, it protects us as individuals to bear arms. So this is from the Second Amendment of the Constitution. So why is the government trying to, the government of the United States trying to take away our right to bear arms? Gun control laws restrict the purchase and ownership of guns, even though guns are typically acquired for defense or sporting purposes, which is what most of us who own guns here either shoot targets or shoot deer. We don't go out, commit crimes, or even to prevent crimes from happening against us. There are studies that show that gun ownership leads to less crime. However, liberals push gun control because voters will depend on the government to protect them. I don't understand why the government wants to have their hands in everything. The government is trying to shift voters leftward on the subject of gun control. Don't think of gun control. Don't think of it as gun control. Think of it as victim disarmament. If we make enough laws, we can all be criminals. I agree guns can be dangerous only if they're in the hands of the wrong people. Some people argue that they say guns kill people. Guns don't kill people. If guns kill people, all of us in this house will be in danger because there's multiple guns in this house right now. So people, or guns don't kill people, people kill people.
Put that out there.
Some people say that it's a psychological thing. Some people say it's a sociological thing when dealing with guns. I say it's more of a psychological and sociological also. You get people who are born with imbalances in their head. So these people tend to have some kind of issue where they, whatever causes them to kill people or harm people with weapons, or sociological. If you grow up in a ghetto area and all you know is your dad was dealing drugs and killing people, and that's what your mother did also, that's how you might grow up that lifestyle and kill and shoot people as well. They also say, a lot of people say that video games and TV have a lot to play with with kids killing people. I've watched a lot of violent movies. I play a lot of violent video games. I've been to Iraq and Afghanistan, and I've yet to kill anybody, any innocent bystander. The problem is too when a child acts out on these crimes, and people start trying to blame the parents instead of just saying that the kid was crazy or whatever it is. I believe there should be restrictions put in place to prevent who can control guns. I don't think the government should have full control saying, hey, you can't have any guns. There should be restrictions put in place, like if you've been discharged from the military, maybe a police officer, if you've been fired from being a police officer for certain reasons, if your mentally capacity is kind of off, you shouldn't be allowed to have guns. Everybody else should be allowed to have guns to protect ourselves. They have gun control in Cuba. They have universal health care in Cuba. Why do Cubans want to come to America? The United States government just needs to leave gun control alone. Why should the government take away the right to protect ourselves? Roughly 16,272 murders were committed in the United States during 2008. Of these murders, about 10,886, or 67%, were committed with firearms. How many other crimes would have been prevented if the victims had been armed? That's arguments we'll never know the answers for, but we do know that the more Americans who carry weapons, the more apprehensive criminals will be to commit violence. As of 2009, population in the United States was 307 million. 2010, 300 million firearms owned by the U.S. civilians, 100 million were handguns. If we look here, this is just private firearms owned, so like us owning our guns, not the military, not the police, and all the other state departments and stuff. If you just look here, this says household with a handgun. We're looking at like 40 to 45% of households have handguns. Adults that own a handgun, 30 to 34. And adults, I'm sorry, this is just any gun period, 30 to 34%. And 17 to 19% are handguns. As you can see the numbers here. And then this is just like the levels of firearm ownership. Household, like I said, 42%. Individuals, 30%. I won't say obviously. Males, 47% to females owning 13%. White, 33%. Non-white, 18%. Republican, 41%. Independent, 27%. Democrats, 23%, which makes sense because the Democrats are the ones who are trying to enforce gun control on us. Reasons for owning firearms. Everybody pretty much says protection, target shooting, hunting and target shooting approach the same thing. When governments fear people, there's liberty. When the people fear the government, there's tyranny. The strongest reason for the person to retain the right to keep and bear arms as a last resort to protect themselves against tyranny and government. That's pretty much saying that we should be able to have our weapons to protect ourselves instead of worry about having the government protect us. We should be able to protect ourselves. Too much government, to me, is not a good thing. That came from Thomas Jefferson, 1743. I'm good. Interrupt.
1 more minute.
Do you get what, 8 minutes?
10 minutes.
No, I'm good. I'm over.
Oh, 8 minutes? Oh, you're at 9 minutes, 20 seconds.
0 minutes!